Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been balling this year, man. The Oklahoma City Thunder got a good point guard going for the future. They got him out of that Paul George deal. Surprisingly, the Thunder are looking nice this year, even with a weak roster with no real star. Unless you can count SGA as a star. He's averaging 22, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He's shooting almost 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 70% from the line. He's moved over to the 2-guard spot because Chris Paul's at the 1, and so he's doing more scoring and less playmaking, but he hasn't really lost many of his assists from last year because he's still averaging 3 assists per game. So he hasn't lost that point guard touch, and once Chris Paul is moved or gets bought out or whatever, SGA will move over to the 1 for the Thunder, and he will definitely get those assists up. Now, I've been very impressed with him. He meshes well with almost everyone on the team. He fits well with Adams, with Gallo, with Terrence Ferguson. He fits well with Diallo, with Schroeder, all the main pieces on the Thunder. He's looked really nice this year so far. He's shooting the lights out, which is something that the Thunder have not really had. They've only had a couple guys that have been great shooters in recent years. Paul George is one of those guys. Of course, their main star has always been Russell Westbrook, a guy who's not known for shooting the ball very well. Of course, Russell Westbrook's a great player in his own right, but shooting the ball from outside is definitely not one of his strengths. If anything, it's one of his main weaknesses. And so having a guard who can actually shoot really well, 41% from deep, is really nice for the Thunder. Of course, SGA is also a solid defender. Not a great defender, but he's solid. He's got size at the point guard spot. If you count him as a point guard. At a 2-guard, he's pretty average size, but he's still nice out there. He's got good length. And so the guy is a solid defender, but he really shines on offense. He's been playing great out of the pick and roll. He can really get his own shot. He can knock down the mid-range. Of course, if they give him space, he's going to shoot the 3. And he's also great at finishing around the basket. Of course, he's only shooting 70% from the line right now, so he needs to pick that up. His field goal attempts have doubled, along with his points per game, which is pretty consistent. Along with his three-pointer attempts, they have gone up by 3 since last season, and his 3-point makes per game have gone up by 2. So he's shooting really well from the field. He's improving a lot, and for the future of the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're lucky that they traded for this guy from Los Angeles because he has been just a monster. Now everybody knew it. Everybody knew last year he was a beast for the Clippers. Even in the playoffs, he played well. Of course, he only averaged 11 points per game, but you could see it. When you watch certain guys, you can see when they have talent, when they have potential, and you could see it with Shai. And of course, coming to the Thunder, who is my favorite team, he's been balling, and I'm very happy about that. But from a non-biased point of view, you can see this dude is legit. He's a legit scorer in the league as a second-year player, as a 21-year-old guy. This guy can get buckets, and I like that, and I'm glad that the Thunder picked him up. Now, my expectations for Shai this season just continue to average upwards of 20 points per game. He's averaging 22 right now. That's subject to change. It's early in the year, but as of right now, he's scoring really well. He's played against some good defenses, and he scored well against them, so it doesn't look like he's really going to get faced by good defenses. And hopefully he'll continue because I want to see young guys like this improve. I feel like Shai could be a top point guard in the NBA in a couple seasons, competing with guys like Trae Young, because Trae Young is a dynamic scorer and a dynamic passer. Shai's got the scoring ability. He's a good passer. I wouldn't say a great passer. He's got good vision, but he doesn't know necessarily when to make the right pass at all times. He looks more for his shot. So hopefully by next season he can average 25, 5 assists, maybe get those rebounds up to 8 or 9 as a tall guard. And eventually I feel like he'll make an all-star game. He'll make a lot of all-star games, I feel like, because this guy, he's just talented. He can shoot, he can score. Really talented player, and for an Oklahoma City team that's rebuilding, having a certified young guy like this who you know is going to be a great player down the road, it's good because you're a lot less worried about making a draft pick. You know you got a point guard for the future, so now you got to just build around that guy. And now that they have a dude who can shoot instead of Russell Westbrook, it's a lot easier to build a team around that guy. And so that's what I think about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Let me know what y'all think about him in the comment section, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.